asked black people, how would you feel if white people held an event every year on the coast, the South Coast, Gulf Coast, and we called it White Beach Weekend? And black people weren't allowed to attend this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel where we break down the most viral, most talked about content on the internet, unfiltered and unapologetic. Today we are diving into a TikTok video that has been making serious waves across social media. A bold question posed by a white woman that sparks a fiery and passionate response from the black community. She asks, how would black people feel if we had a white beach weekend and didn't allow black people to attend? And let's just say, the response was swift, sharp, and unapologetically honest. In today's video, we are unpacking the layered reaction from respectful rebuttals to raw truths that trace back to historical injustice and deep-rooted social tensions. This isn't just another internet debate, it's a reflection of cultural memory, pride, and the refusal to entertain ignorance. Stay logged in as we break down this viral moment, explore the history behind it, and examine why the internet had a lot to say. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe because this conversation is far from over. Let's get into it.
Ma'am, respectfully, on behalf of about 99.9% of people who look like me, in the words of Stephen A., we don't care. We don't care. I'm sick of seeing people pose these ignorant questions and make everything about color. If this was asked about Asians or Hispanics, whether they had a day and they want to include black people, it would be the same thing. If somebody don't want me somewhere, I'm good on not going. Trust me. If someone who looked like me threw a party and said they didn't want me there, I'm okay with that. I don't care. I never understand the logic behind these stupid questions. And for some strange reason, this creator's page is non-existent. I can't imagine why. There are new babies being born every day who know nothing about this. Nothing. It's being taught. So if there's no end to all this black-white stuff, it's going to keep going. It's going to be an ugly, vicious cycle, is all I'm saying. Respectfully, of course. No.
Yintoni ask ntoni yintoni ufuna ukubuza mina siyavuka sinxaniwe sifuna nesavana bethunana like abantu abaningi abaxakileyo siqakhani kanimeni ngemibuzo bethunana kanimeni siyazivukela thina kiyethetha hey khaya busavana qala before ndiphendule kasapha bethunana.
Whatever it is you wanted to ask us, the answer is no. Una to address Kamanani. Huh? Nobody is allowed to address black people other than black people and the police.
Segregation ended like about 60 years ago or so. You do know that Grump was 18 when segregation ended, right? And segregation wasn't just like something that just happened. It progressively were thrown into this society with y'all that really think that we give a about having to be separated from y'all. At this point, with what we've seen, yes, by all means, let us know that we are not safe, so that we can take our money elsewhere.
It is always the thin-lipped termites that got some shit to say. Y'all did have something in the South that was for white people that black people wasn't allowed to go to. It was y'all girls gone wild shit. Remember that? Y'all had it in Florida. It was pretty much in the South. I know you might not understand direction, but yeah, it was in the fucking South. And secondly, black beaches for everybody. It's not just for black people, but nice try, because literally it be white people down there. I go to Black Beach every year, sweetie. There's never been a point in time where we said white people can't come. Y'all just sit there and be passive aggressive and act like y'all better than this shit and act like black people getting together and celebrating something is getting in y'all goddamn way when it's not. I cannot count the amount of Uber rides I done took and been around people that was like, oh my God, why do they just need it a whole weekend? Y'all tiptoe so hard around being racist that y'all come right back around to being racist. Leave Black Beach alone. Yes, it's boring. Yes, there's a lot of people and there's not shit going on. Oh well, it's black culture. You wouldn't understand it. You're not black. You can't fucking criticize something. How you gonna hate from outside the club? You can't even get in. Even though you got an invite, your ass just didn't show up. That sounds like a very fucking personal issue. All I'm saying is, we don't mess with y'all white ass events. Leave our black events alone. That simple.
Brother, before I even start this damn video, this ain't got nothing to do with you. This got something to do with her. She deleted the video. So I'm going like this. I'm gonna flame your ass, bitch! Okay, let me say this real talk, ma'am. You already did. In some parts of the state, it's the National Confederate Month every February. I'm back on you. You already motherfucking did. You had a pool party every motherfucking year, for black people, and when the black people showed up, you threw bleach on it. I'm back on you. When it came down to basically white people, y'all do it every motherfucking year when it come down to this. Y'all used to have something called a picnic. And usually a picnic involved a rope, a blanket, some food, your family, and a black person to lynch. I'm back on you. Is it hurting you at the fact that every February that you got to study black history? Is it really hurting you that bad? Who the fuck man is this?
You know what to say. Hold on. Y'all, I'll be back. Because I'm trying to be nice. Because... Hold on, y'all. Let me get my thoughts together. I'll be back. Hold on. All right, Miss Joy, I'm back. To answer your question, we don't give a flying fuck what you think or how you feel. We don't care if you make a wild out, whatever you said, Wednesday for white people or whatever the case may be. And first of all, let's get this understood. Who told you that you wasn't invited to the Black Beach Party? Oh, my bad. I get it. You're the reason you don't come to the Black Beach Party. You're the problem. So if you want to ask black people a question, you ask them a legitimate question. Because that Black Beach Party, they recently started that not too long ago. But Joy, to give you some clarification, that question that you asked, you want to ask black people, how would we feel? Let me ask you something. How would you feel if your grandmother or your great-grandmother or your ancestors was taken and made to build a whole country that was taken from them, then that was beaten, that was raped, that was called all type of names? How would you feel, Joy, if your great-grandmother or your great-grandfather invented the light bulb and didn't get credit for it, the stoplight and didn't get credit for it, the spoon, Joy? How would you feel if your great-grandmother or your great-grandfather invented one of the first laser surgeries? How would you feel, Joy? And if your great-grandmother or your great-grandfather actually went out there and had to carry a 5-pound bag of cotton on their back, fuck you and your white beach party. We don't give a damn about that. You mad because people are celebrating Black History Month? The United States is not the only place that celebrates Black History Month. Do you know that Canada celebrates Black History Month as well as Australia? But you want to ask us why you can't go to a beach party? We wouldn't give a damn if your built, blonde, beach body ass, whatever Jasmine Crockett said, came to no beach party. We ain't studying you. We don't care about all of that. If you're going to ask the question, man, ask the real question. If you're going to do anything, you trying to wear... Look, Boy, Joy. You knew we were coming, didn't you, Joy? We don't give a damn about your wild out Wednesdays. We don't care about that. Get out of here, Joy. Find something else to do. Then you mad. They gave us February, baby. It ain't number 28 days in February except leap year. Then they give us 29 days. But see, Joy, this is the thing. We just don't celebrate Black History Month in February. We celebrate it 365. 7 days a week. Mark that on your calendar, Joy. But I tell you what, the Black Beach Party is coming up. You're more than welcome. Don't bring the potato salad with the raisins, Joy.
I'm so tired of people that come from the mountains of Caucasus asking black people stupid shit about if all white people did something and didn't include black people. Do you realize that black people would probably be a hell of a lot happier if we hadn't included them in shit? Do you realize that we have stolen them from their own lands and brought them here? White lady, like, you white people get on my fucking nerves so bad. Like, the stupidity that comes out of your mouth on a daily basis on TikTok when it comes to the shit that you ask white people is astounding to me. And the fact that they have a lot more patience with you than they should give you just proves how better of a group of people they are than what we are. Like, honestly, I do not understand how black people do it. I, for one, cannot stand people that look like me, and then because of this stupid shit that this woman, this white pick-me lady just said, it kills me. For any white person that decides that they want to ask a black person something and they are just be like, well, what if this, what if, don't, okay, just don't. Rethink that a few times before you post it, because you're gonna get a whole bunch of backlash, okay? Black people do not care about you at all. Yeah, no. We prove to them time and time again that we don't give a shit about them. Why should they care about what we think? I mean, I'm just asking, white lady. Why should they care about what a bunch of white people do? We haven't included them in anything in how long? Oh, other than enslaving them, raping them, killing them, stealing their children, and doing all kind of inhumane and immoral things to them. But if a bunch of white people didn't include them in something, that they would be upset. Oh no. I'm sure they would be fine without us around, lady. Okay? I'm just saying. Don't be stupid. I don't really feel like that's that hard. Okay? But I mean, you are white. So, there's that. Okay. Listen, honey. Next time you get a brilliant idea, don't post it. Keep it to yourself. Write it down in a journal. Burn it. I don't care. Okay? Don't put it on TikTok. You look like an idiot.
Alright, let's get straight into it. The original question posed, how would black people feel if white people had a white beach weekend and didn't allow black people, has layers that needs to be unpacked. On the surface, it might sound like a genuine inquiry about fairness or inclusion, but context matters, history matters, and so does intention. When you look at the phrases of this question, it isn't really about throwing a beach party. It's a loaded hypothetical rooted in a false equivalence. It's trying to mirror events like Black Beach Week or other cultural-centered gatherings and flip them into a narrative of exclusion. But here's the problem. This comparison ignores hundreds of years of systemic exclusion that black people have already experienced socially, politically, economically, and yes, recreationally. This difference is historical access. When black communities hold events like Black Beach week. It's not about excluding others, it's about creating safe spaces. These are events where people can celebrate their culture freely without judgment, where they don't have to code switch, shrink themselves, or worry about being profiled for simply existing in joy. This space is born out of necessity, not out of speed. It's about reclaiming joy in a world that often polices it. On the other hand, the idea of creating a white-only beach weekend in this country hits a very different nerves because we have already seen that movie. It's called Jim Crown. It's called segregation. It's called white only, sign on beaches, pools and parks. It's not theoretical, it's history. And it's recent history. We are not talking about ancient times here. We are talking about people who are still alive today who were denied basic access to public spaces because of the color of their skin. And when black people are allowed into those spaces, they are often met with hospitality, literary violence, pools being drenched, beach thrown, police called. So when someone flips the script and asks, well, what if we had a white only event? It's not clever, it's original, and most importantly, it's not coming from a place of innocence, it's coming from a place of provocation. Now, one of the most telling parts of the viral response was that so many black people said flat out, we don't care, and that is incredibly important because that response exposes the whole nature of the original question. The assumption of was that black people would be outraged, hurt, or offended. But the reality, most people said, if you don't want me at your party, cool. I wasn't coming anyway because a confident, self-aware person doesn't beg for access to a space where they are not welcomed. The need for inclusion isn't depression, it's principle. But let's also address the deeper frustration that came through in many of these response videos. People hasn't just annoyed at the question, they are tired of the circular arguments, tired of weaponized ignorance, tired of people who pretend not to understand history in order to stir up controversy or get views online, tired of being gaslighted into thinking about culturally affirming spaces as somehow out of exclusion or reverse racism. This was one response that stood out, and it was sharp, raw, and brutally honest. It reminded viewers that white America already had its white beach weekend. In fact, they had entire decades of them, from sundown towns to segregated summer resorts. Black people were not just discouraged, they were banned. So to ask how would you feel if the tables were turned completely erases the reality that those tables were never equal to begin with. Another powerful point that was made is this: so much of this tension is learned, the division, the resentment, the need to question someone else's celebration. These are the ideas that are taught, reinforced, and passed down. There are children born every day who doesn't carry this bandage until someone hands it to them. That is the real strategy. We are not just dealing with history, we are dealing with how people choose to remember it, weaponize it, and teach it. And perhaps the biggest irony, the original creator who posed the question seems to have vanished. Their page is gone, and that silence says more than their words ever could. Because when you throw a stone into a crowd, you can't always predict who it's gonna hit. And when you play with fire, especially racial fire, you better be ready for the heat. So let's make this plain. Black event, black joy, black culture is not an attack on anyone. It's not anti-anyone. It's pro-self. It's about building what wasn't given. It's about craving out space in a world that often tries to push you out of it. If someone feels threatened by that, the issue isn't with the celebration, it's with their perception. Because what we are really seeing here isn't a question about fairness, it's discomfort with autonomy, with seeing black people not asking for permission, not seeking validation, just existing loudly and proudly. And that is what really makes some people uncomfortable. That is why these what if the roles were reversed questions keep popping up. They are not genuine, they are desperate attempts to recenter the dominant narrative. To anyone genuinely wants to understand the difference, it starts with listening. Listening to history, listening to lived experience, listening to the reason why this event exists and respecting the context behind them. Because without context, we are just talking in circle. At the end of the day, the responses were clear. We don't care, we are not begging for entry, we got our own, and that's confidence, that's clarity. That is what rattled people the most. Thanks for watching. If this sparks something in you, Hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe for more real conversations, cultural breakdowns, and perspectives that actually move the needle. Until next time, stay sharp, stay aware, and stay unapologetically you.